Hey guys, what is up? It is dusk. I realize I'm a week late on this one, but we've got a new Pokemon, or at least we know what a new one looks like. Here's a picture of it right now. Me and many others have come to call the thing Mewthree, as you can clearly guess why. I mean, this thing looks like Mewtwo and Mew-ish, kinda, but mostly like Mewtwo. I have four theories as to how this thing comes into play in the games, the first one being the most likely. But yeah, I'm personally happy to see this. I love Mew, especially, and Mewtwo. Mewtwo is my favorite Pokemon by far, but because it's being stuck in the Uber tier, I can't really use it because I play OU, so that's why I main Hippowdon instead of Mewtwo, because I just plain can't use Mewtwo in my tier. Beyond the fact of its own power, I mean, Mewtwo has more character depth than some main characters in a couple mainstream animes. I would name a couple of them, but unless I am directly asked in the comments below, I will refrain from doing so, as I don't want to offend or tick people off or send them into an anime rage fit or some other nonsense. I mean, just let's skip the drama today, okay, folks? Now, on to my theories and the very, I'll admit, frail reasons I have to back them up. The first theory is that this Pokemon is in fact going, well, again, this is all theories, so if I say in fact, just ignore that. The first theory is that this Pokemon will be a second successful clone of Mew. Reason being, in the Japanese titles for Pokemon X and Y, we have, as you can clearly see, these little DNA icons. Didn't get to see that for the English title. Now, normally with X and Y, several people were anticipating a third version called Z to match the X, Y, and Z axes that make up 3D modeling, which makes sense with the games being released for the 3DS. But this DNA icon makes me believe that we are going back to our original theme with Pokemon, where they are essentially genetics and science experiments. That was Kanto's theme. I mean, Voltorb was a goof up on a Pokeball. I mean, I don't know how you goof up making a Pokeball to the fact that it comes alive, but whatever. Mewtwo being created from Mew's genes, I mean, just, it's nice to have the possibility we're going back to that theme, and between this icon thing and this Mew 3-ish thing, it's possible that we get a side story, or actually part of the main story in the game, where they create this new successful clone. It goes berserk like the first one did, and you have to catch it right then and there. My second through fourth theories all involve it being an evolution. The second theory is that Mew could evolve the whole time. I know I'm getting raised eyebrows and people aiming for that closeout button, but please hold off on this. Bear with me. Mew is capable of learning Transform, people. Therefore, if it were to evolve, it would still have Transform. What's stopping it from constantly looking like a basic Mew? Seriously, what is stopping it? This would copy the same stats and everything, and then it would account for Mewtwo's shape. The eyelash that Mewtwo was cloned from could have been shed in the middle of said evolution. You don't know. The next theory on the evolutionary line is that Mewtwo evolves into this, either through A, his cloning actually making him more superior than Mew than we thought, or B, some kind of extra genetics program or something being inputted into him through an item, like those upgrades and CDs for Porygon, or that DNA thing we had with Keyrem, and then that item helps it evolve into Mewthree. And this final theory, before I let you guys go, is a huge stretch. I will give you that. It is a huge stretch. But to explain it, first I must explain another theory in the Pokemon world. Many people believe that Ditto is actually a failed clone attempt of Mew. Don't believe me? Well, let's look at the facts. They both weigh 8.8 pounds. They both have equal base stats across the board, where Mew's is 100 in each stat and Ditto's is 45 in each stat. They're both pinkish, or they both have similar coloring in their normal forms in every game, and from Gold and Silver onward, they both even have similar colorings in their shiny forms with some light blue thing. Both are genderless. Both are incapable of, well, I believe Ditto's incapable of breeding. Can you make another Ditto if you breed two Dittos? I'll have to look that up. Further on, both are the only Pokemon capable of learning Transform, naturally at that, therefore making both the only Pokemon capable of learning every move in the game, through one means or another. And I'm not sure if this is the last thing on the similarities, but in Yellow version, which to my knowledge was made as a story revamp, or more fulfilling story, Ditto is no longer catchable at in the route outside of Fuchsia City. Instead, its only locations are the old mansion that was burned down, or that was destroyed on Cinnabar Island, and the Unknown Dungeon. The only locations in the game associated with Mew and Mewtwo. So, for all the reasons... Oh, and that's right, that's the thing I'm forgetting. The Pokedex entry. Several Pokedex entries for Mewtwo, specifically designated as the first successful clone of Mew. Interesting that that word would be added in, successful, and not just the first clone. This suggests that there were failures, mistakes. Therefore, when added in with all this other information, Dittos could have been these mistakes, and that could be why it's so rare. Because they clearly wouldn't have had to try it that many times. Enough to make it appear in the wild every now and then and catchable if they just threw it out, but not enough to make it as common as Pidgey. I doubt they'd have tried that many times. Giovanni is not the type of man to tolerate that number of failures and incompetence. Anime Jesse and James aside. Now, with these theories in place, what if Ditto has not been a complete failure? Keeping in track with my Mewtwo evolution theory, what if they come up with some item that, when used with Ditto, actually makes it capable to fix whatever flaws were in its genetics and make it a stable variant of a Mew clone, hence evolving into this Mewthree. Now, if they do this, which would be bloody awesome, this would make Ditto compatible with the Eviolite. So if we use its Dream World ability, this is of course assuming that the Mewthree's Dream World ability would be completely different from Ditto's. Ditto could now go into battle, transform to whatever it's facing just like that, and while having Eviolite, have defense boosts in both special and physical, have on top of your opponent's stats and not being locked into a single attack with through its usual choice strategy. That's something I would like to see. That's a playstyle, that's a Pokemon I would actually like to play around with. But yeah, that's what I got for you guys today. Tell me what you think about this new Pokemon and my theories, possibly even your theories if you have some that differ, in the comments below. like, subscribe, check out my other videos. I will see you guys later. I have got to run. Bye.